everyone, it's Marissa Laughlin from Joanne's Place here, and you're listening to the Wellness on Purpose podcast. There is no linear path along one's wellness journey, and it is very easy to get caught up in the latest health trends found on social media, which tend to redirect our wellness journeys. Things like, what's the difference between clean and dirty eating? How should I reduce my stress? How do I know if I'm regular? How much sleep should I be getting? What even is cortisol? And do I need to be taking a multivitamin? There is so much information being released in the wellness industry on and offline, and it can be very challenging to not jump on every bandwagon we read about. Here at the Wellness on Purpose podcast, our intention is to connect with experts in our community to inspire and educate you to take the next impactful and realistic step in your journey to live wellness on purpose now and for future generations. Hey guys, it's Marissa Laughlin here, and today I am going to be hosting a solo episode here on the Wellness on Purpose podcast. Today, I want to talk to you guys about anxiety around the holidays. So, first off, let's first understand what anxiety is. Anxiety is a reaction. I'm going to repeat that. Anxiety is a reaction. We have to understand that anxiety is a reaction to our thoughts, to our self-talk, and to our surroundings. It's a reaction to the situations that we're put in, and it actually changes our physical, mental, and psychological state that is generally beyond our control. And that's when we have those heightened responses. It might be fast heart rate, it might be difficulty breathing, it might be emotional outbursts, it might be for me, I know when I'm anxious, I just shut off. I kind of disappear a little bit. I go off the grid. Those are all forms of anxiety, and they show up differently in everybody. But what we have to understand too is that anxiety is a normal response for everybody. It's when we are pushed outside of the normal. It's when we're pushed outside of our comfort zone and our body is reacting to something that's different. Sometimes your anxiety reactions can be way more heightened depending on the situation and your surroundings, but it's normal to have a reactive response like that. So that's something that we can't necessarily control. We can't necessarily suppress that reaction changing in our body. But what we do have control over is how we manage our anxiety and those reactions that are associated with the anxiety level increasing. The holiday season tend to come with a whole new level of stress and emotions, which tend to increase our anxiety responses. Now, there are so many different factors as to why this can happen. It can be the worry of seeing a family member, the rush of getting a perfect gift before December 25th, the long traffic waits, the financial burden, the buyer's remorse, the gifting expectation, but also eating around the holidays, and that's what I want to specifically talk to you about today. So, before you allow the rush of worry, disappointment, failure, or any other negative emotion to overcome your thought patterns, I want to give you guys my top tips for helping you manage your anxiety around eating during the holidays. First and foremost, I want you to really understand, appreciate, and remind yourself that there is no such thing as a wellness bandwagon. No such thing, okay? When you're on your wellness journey, you're on that journey from January 1st to December 31st, year in and year out. It doesn't change. You don't get on and you don't get off. You've got to ride that ride day in and day out, and you've got to accept the actions that you take during that entire year, not just during December, okay? So don't tell yourself it's December 1st, I'm going to drink the alcohol that I want to, I'm going to eat the snacks that I want to. I'm going to tell you in a minute that that's all okay to do as well. But don't just tell yourself that, oh, I'm giving up for this month. There's no such thing as giving up. It's called moving forward. It's called progressing and accepting those shifts during your wellness journey. When you are consuming those foods that you may not normally have, or you're consuming more of them, it's very important to remember to stay mindful. Don't wrestle with the guilt. Don't make yourself feel guilty about what you're having. Be mindful of what you're having, find joy in what you're having, and love the experience of what you're having and who you're having it with. So yes, indulge in your grandmother's delicious butter tarts. Drink that extra glass of red wine. Have the extra scoop of mashed potatoes. Also, in case you forgot, potatoes is a vegetable. But while you're eating those foods, I really want you to be mindful of the taste, the texture, the smell, the color, the potential memory that you associate with that special food. Enjoy it. Stay present. Stay mindful. I can guarantee you that when you are mindfully eating your Christmas dinner meals, you are less likely to overconsume if you stay in the present moment and you're not eating distracted. If you are watching what you're putting in your mouth, you're appreciating the food that you're putting in your mouth, you're not going to overeat as much as if you blankly went up, filled your plate, ate it all, and went back and did it again. Stay mindful of what you're consuming. Another good tip. So, you're going to your aunt's for Christmas dinner. You know that they're doing the traditional turkey, stuffing, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, Yorkshire pudding. They're doing dumplings. They're doing every other thing that is something you may not normally have on a regular basis. I really encourage you to bring something to that dinner that you would enjoy, something that you know is full of nutrition, that's going to give a great boost of antioxidants, that's going to be easy for you to digest, and that tastes delicious. Like a salad, quinoa, some roasted vegetables. People are starting to become more aware of allergies, sensitivities, dietary restrictions, and needs. So when you bring a meal to a traditional dinner, you're going to inspire the rest of the people that are at your meal to also consume more nutritious food as well. And sometimes it can be very hard to break those traditions that you've been building with your family over the last 10, 15, 20 years, but you've got to start somewhere. It might be weird for you to bring a salad to dinner, but I guarantee you next year somebody else is going to do it because you're going to inspire them to do that too, because you're inspiring wellness day in and day out, not just from January to November. Okay? Another really good tip for you to follow is the 80-20 rule during the holidays. I've said this rule multiple times in many of my talks and seminars. Follow the 80-20 rule. That could be maybe Monday to Friday. You're following more of a balanced diet, structured meal plan. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, you're having your shake, you're eating lots of greens, and you're drinking lots of water so that on the weekend you can enjoy that extra glass of wine, or you can have a rum and eggnog, or you can have the extra cookie, whatever that might be. That 20% is when you enjoy those things that you don't normally enjoy without any guilt. And that's the key. No guilt. If you let go, drop, and forget that guilt, you're able to build a healthy and balanced relationship with your food. And this is so much more sustainable in your daily life than any other restriction that you might put yourself on. Learn to enjoy those times with your family, with your friends, eating out, eating those foods you wouldn't normally do. Because that's what life is all about, enjoying that time, enjoying the food with the people that you want to. Another piece to that 80-20 rule and that guilt. Do not, I repeat, do not fall into the perspective of earning your foods. This is an incredibly unhealthy habit that is scary for people to develop. It is a mind game. If you tell yourself, I can eat this cake if I run it off later. I can have this glass of wine if I do this later. I can have this extra scoop of mashed potatoes if I do 10 burpees. No. You can have all of those foods because this is your 20% of the week that you can enjoy whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, without having to earn it. Keep that healthy relationship building throughout the entire year. Be mindful of your consumption of food and appreciate the people that you're enjoying it with. Another tip for you. There might be a time during the holidays where you think, okay, I am tired of eating the fudge. I'm tired of having the cakes. I've had so much sweets. I'm good. I'm done. I've had my 20%. Do not, I'm doing a silent clap as I say do not push your limits for the pleasure of others. If your grandmother wants you to eat a 5th butter tart, it's okay to say no. It's okay to know where your limits are at And rather than pleasing every extended family member and agreeing by having another baked good, butter tart, glass of alcohol, whatever that might be honest, be confident, and politely decline. This is another piece of the movement where we have the ability to say no when we are over consuming or we know that enough is enough. Because everyone knows their limits. Sometimes we go over them and that's okay too. But most of the time, especially during the holidays, if you are in tune with your body, if you're being mindful of the consumption of food that you're having, you will be able to know when enough is enough, and you'll be able to confidently say, no thank you, I'm full right now. And lastly, the most important tip that I can give to you during this holiday season, the most important one, so write this one down. You need to take time for yourself. You need to take time for yourself. This is so incredibly important to allow your mind, body, soul to rest, digest, and recharge. When you are showing up as yourself, you are your best self. You are charged. You are vibing. You are full. Because it does not take much for people to suck the energy right out of you, even if you get along with every single family member in your family, which is amazing. Sometimes that's not always possible with some families, but it's just facts. Most of the time when you're in a situation where it's, hyper energy, you're eating more foods you wouldn't normally have, sometimes it requires more energy to be up at that level. And that's normal. But you also have to take the time to recharge and get back to that best self that you are. So during the times, make sure you're taking time for yourself to do that recharge. And it might still be with a family member, like going for a walk or going to yoga class maybe with your mom, or waking up in the morning and have a cup of coffee with your partner. Those are all ways that you're recharging, but being mindful that this is a time of recharging. This is not a time for stress. This is not a time for worry, for any other type of emotion that is going to affect your anxiety. It's a time for you to rest and to recharge. One of my favorite ways to recharge on the holidays is wake up early, make myself a cup of coffee, get my 2 pups on the couch and my heated blanket, and just stare at the lights on the tree. That is how I fuel my morning so that I am high vibing, energized, and in a really great mood for the rest of the day. Again, there are many ways that you can recharge, but just don't forget to do it. We can say and we can have the best intentions of redoing it, but take action and realize that your energy is very valuable and you need to protect it just as much as everybody else in your family. And that's a wrap. Those are all my tips, and I really hope you guys are able to implement them into your holiday routine this year for yourself, your family, your friends. I'm wishing you guys a safe, happy, healthy, and balanced holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you soon. Take care.